something big is coming. And most people have no idea. While the world grows tired of America's dominance on the global stage, a silent financial storm is brewing. And if you thought things were bad under Biden, brace yourself. Under Trump, it might just get worse. We're not just talking about politics here. We're talking about the possible death of the dollar, and the signals are everywhere. Inflation, already painful, could climb even higher. Jobs, at risk. Confidence, crumbling. Ask 1,000 Americans how they feel about the economy, and you'll hear 1,000 different opinions. But underneath all the noise and emotions, the cold hard numbers are painting a clear and terrifying picture. In this video, I'm not going to give you opinions. I'm going to walk you through 15 undeniable facts about where the US economy is really headed. No spin, just truth. And trust me, fact number 15 will leave you speechless. Let's start with fact number 1. The Conference Board's leading economic indicators, the key data points that help forecast where the economy is going, dropped way more than experts predicted last month. In the first half of 2025, they've fallen even faster than they did during the downturn at the end of 2024. According to Justina Zabinska-Lamonica from the Conference Board, even though stock prices saw a small bump, it wasn't nearly enough. Consumer confidence is sinking, manufacturing is slowing down, and jobless claims have been rising steadily for the past 3 months. That's not a small warning, that's a siren. And here's fact number 2. Sales of used homes just hit their lowest point in 9 months. The reason? Sky-high prices and brutal mortgage rates. But this isn't just bad news for people trying to buy a house. When the housing market starts crumbling, it drags down the entire economy with it. Construction slows, furniture sales drop, and even moving companies take a hit. It's a domino effect, and the first tiles are already falling. And here's the scary part. It's not just that homes are expensive. Many Americans have been completely locked out of the dream of homeownership. Prices are so high that even those who already own a home and want to sell, can't. Why? Because they can't afford to buy anything else. They're stuck, trapped in a market where moving up or moving on is almost impossible. Now let's talk about health insurance, and it's not good news. Millions of Americans, even those who are covered, are about to get slammed with massive rate hikes in 2026. Insurance companies are planning to raise premiums by a whopping 15%, the biggest increase since 2018. And if you think your job-based insurance will protect you, think again. Over half of large employers are getting ready to push more costs onto their workers, raising deductibles, co-pays, and out-of-pocket expenses. So even if you're insured, you're still not safe from the financial pain. And the hits just keep coming. This time, straight to your dinner plate. Beef prices in America have jumped 9% since January. Remember when eggs were suddenly a luxury? That was because of bird flu and supply issues. But eventually things calmed down. Not this time. According to the Department of Agriculture, beef is now selling for a jaw-dropping $9.26 per pound. In June alone, steak prices jumped 12.4%, and ground beef rose 10.3% compared to last year. For many families, even basic meals are becoming unaffordable. But it gets worse. More and more Americans are now using buy now, pay later loans just to put food on the table. You heard that right. A recent study shows that 1 in 4 people using these loans have used them for groceries. That number was just 14% a year ago. And among Gen Z, it's becoming alarmingly normal. Groceries are now the 4th most common purchase using these loans, right behind clothes, electronics, and home goods. Imagine borrowing money just to eat. That's where we are. And if you were hoping inflation was slowing down, don't hold your breath. Inflation just had its biggest monthly spike in 5 months, and that likely means one thing: no interest rate cuts anytime soon. The Federal Reserve is holding firm, and for everyday people that's bad news. Borrowing stays expensive. Credit cards, auto loans, home loans, everything costs more, and there's no relief in sight. Let's talk about borrowing, because right now it's more expensive than ever. When the Federal Reserve keeps interest rates high, the goal is to slow inflation, but there's a dark side. It makes life much harder for anyone who needs a loan. Whether it's a mortgage, a car loan, or just trying to stay afloat with a credit card, everything now comes with a higher price tag. And with inflation heating up again, the chance of lower rates anytime soon? Basically zero. And this leads us straight into fact number 7, a deeply personal crisis that's affecting millions. Retirement is being delayed. Right now, 23% of Americans say they've pushed back their retirement plans, up from just 14% last year. But here's the part that's truly alarming. The average 55-year-old only has around $50,000 saved. That's supposed to last them for the rest of their life. Imagine trying to retire on that. It's no wonder more and more older Americans are staying in the workforce well into their 70s, not because they want to, but because they have no choice. That $50,000 might get you through a year or two if you're lucky, but one unexpected health issue could wipe out everything. This isn't just a financial issue, it's a retirement time bomb, and it's ticking louder every year. And the emotional weight of all this, it's crushing. Fact number 8, nearly 70% of Americans are now struggling with anxiety and depression tied directly to money problems. The numbers from the Federal Reserve are staggering. Americans are carrying a record-breaking $1.118 trillion in credit card debt. But this isn't just about statistics. This is about real people, lying awake at night, worrying about how to pay rent, how to buy groceries, or how to get out of debt that seems to grow faster than they can pay it down. At 25% interest, even small balances balloon quickly. Every month more of their paycheck gets eaten up by interest. It's a cycle that feels impossible to break, and for many families it's tearing them apart. Let me ask you something. How can a country so rich, so powerful, have millions of people going hungry? Here's fact number 9, and it's heartbreaking. The number of Americans who don't have enough food has nearly doubled since 2021. Just a few years ago, when Congress boosted food stamps and expanded the child tax credit, poverty dropped, and more families could afford basic meals. But once those programs were cut back, everything changed. The safety net vanished, and millions were left hanging. We're talking about parents skipping meals so their kids can eat. We're talking about people hardworking, middle-class people, showing up at food banks for the very first time in their lives. They never thought it would happen to them. But now, with food prices at historic highs, many can't afford to keep their kitchens stocked. In one of the wealthiest nations on Earth, people are fighting hunger like it's a third-world crisis. And now, fact number 10, layoffs are sweeping across a vital part of the economy: transportation and freight. Shipping companies, manufacturers, lumber firms, logistics and distribution hubs, all cutting jobs. In just the past few weeks, over 4,100 layoffs were announced in these sectors alone. If the economy was really doing well, this wouldn't be happening. When business is booming, goods are moving, trucks are running, warehouses are full, and jobs are plenty. But right now, things are slowing to a crawl. And that brings us to something most news outlets aren't even talking about. Fact number 11, a hidden crisis quietly suffocating the American middle class. While prices go up, the value of work is going down. According to economist Jeff Snyder, we may have never fully recovered from the recession that started in 2020. The numbers might look fine on paper, GDP up, job numbers steady, but underneath it all, people are feeling poorer. Why? Because most middle-class Americans rely entirely on their paychecks to survive. They don't have investment portfolios or real estate empires. They trade time for money, and that money isn't going as far anymore. Rent, gas, food, electricity, everything is more expensive, but paychecks aren't keeping up. The average work week is now as short as it was during the pandemic, and even the 2008 crash. Employers are slashing hours to cut costs, and it's hitting families hard. So what happens when you're working fewer hours? Your paycheck buys less, and now the government comes knocking for more. Fact number 12 hits right where it hurts. The new federal budget bill is going to make life more expensive for 80% of American families, especially the middle class. This bill does the exact opposite of what struggling families need. It raises healthcare costs by slashing Medicaid, leaving millions at risk of losing coverage. It also cuts food assistance programs. And just when families are already choosing between gas and groceries, it raises energy costs by taking away clean energy tax breaks. Who benefits from this? Only the wealthiest 10%. While they walk away richer, middle-class families are left holding the bill. And the hits keep coming with Fact 13, a policy bomb that could backfire hard. The planned mass deportations. On paper it sounds like it's about law and order, but in reality, kicking millions of undocumented workers out of the country could wreck key parts of the economy. Industries like healthcare, eldercare, hospitality, and agriculture rely heavily on immigrant labor, especially in states like Florida. Removing that workforce could lead to job losses across the board. Not just for immigrants, but for citizens who work alongside them. The social and economic fallout? Massive and costly. Then there's fact number 14, which is both disturbing and deeply frustrating. Major cuts to federal programs like Medicaid and education are being proposed, and it's going to widen inequality even further. Cutting these programs means less access to health care, fewer opportunities for students, and stripped-down social support systems. Meanwhile, the bill adds over $3 trillion to the national deficit, and with interest, that could explode to $4 trillion over the next decade. That could push America's debt-to-GDP ratio to a shocking 130% by 2034. Higher government debt means higher interest payments, which means more of your tax dollars go to lenders instead of schools, roads, and hospitals. Oh, and if you're planning to buy a home, prepare for pain. These changes could add over $1,000 a year to a typical mortgage payment, making home ownership even harder to reach. And now here it is, fact number 15, and it's the one that could change everything. The AI revolution is already here, and it's coming fast. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, just called AI the biggest shift in modern history. On July 1st, he warned that AI is going to cause massive unemployment, especially among young educated workers who still have student debt and are trying to get their careers started. And he's not alone. Dario Amodei, the CEO of AI company Anthropic, recently predicted that AI could eliminate half of all entry-level office jobs, pushing unemployment as high as 20%. The scary part? These changes are happening faster than anyone expected. Technology is evolving faster than society can adapt, and the old ways of working, learning, and earning just don't apply anymore. Many feel like they're standing on quicksand, unsure how to move forward because the rules keep changing. And this is where it all ties together: rising debt, soaring costs, unstable jobs, and now a technology shift that could upend everything. The economy isn't just shaky, it's transforming. And unless people understand what's really happening and how to prepare for it, they risk being left behind in a world that no longer plays by the same rules.